Hi, welcome to the XDC APAC podcast, where enterprise meets blockchain innovation. I'm your host, Sonny Mohanty. In today's episode, we're diving into how Blockdaemon, one of the most trusted infrastructure providers in Web3, is powering the next phase of institutional grade adoption on the XDC network. So, whether you are from a bank, exchange, custodian, or a fintech firm, this episode is packed with insights on how to leverage XDC's enterprise grade blockchain and the infrastructure tools Blockdaemon is offering to make it happen. So today we have with us ZJ, who is the technical account manager from Blockdaemon. Welcome to the XDC APAC podcast. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks, Sonny, for having me here. Very pleasure to be sitting here in a very nice studio in Singapore. Discussing about some of the solutions that we offer and how we work with XDC in the space. So really excited to be here.
So could you please tell us, the audience, some insights into Blockdaemon and the services Blockdaemon offers?
So we are founded in 2017 by our CEO, Constantine Richter. How this whole idea comes from in terms of starting a node infrastructure company was that he was actually running an Ethereum node at his home. And he figured that, despite the setup being relatively easy, but the challenge comes in when you talk about things like maintenance, having to keep the node up and running, all the operational and also system upgrades and updates are actually not as easy as people deem it to be. So he decided to, kick off the idea of starting a company to assist any people in the space, whether they want to think about how to run and support blockchain infrastructure, and getting a vendor or a third-party node operator like Blockdaemon to support them in their daily operations. So since then, we actually have expanded our offering quite significantly. So started off from an Ethereum node. Right now, we support more than 60 over protocols, and that includes XDC masternode validators as well. And the experience in terms of running node infrastructure, we expand our offering to also support staking. XDC comes into place as well. We run validators, consensus nodes to validate online on-chain transaction, ensuring that the network remains reliable for 40 over different protocols, including like Ethereum, Solana, Near, XDC definitely. The product we actually expand into was a product called Sepio. So we acquired this company back in 2022 and expand, to offer a wallet technology using multi-party computation, or some people call it, short form as MPC. And this solution caters to our audiences that requires, usually based in jurisdiction, who requires like a non-custodial wallet solution. And our last product offering stems from this company that we actually just acquired last month. So it's called Expand Network, and it offers DeFi API. So what it does is simply offering API solutions for customers like wallet providers who wants to connect to aggregators to perform things like swaps or even DeFi actions.
Okay.
I think the unique proposition of this latest offering of ours stems from the fact that we allow the customers or the clients that we work with to also gain like a revenue share on top of just offering this service to their users. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of DeFi API solutions out there, but the difference is that, when these wallet providers approach some of these aggregators or some of these partners like Uniswap, they might not be able to generate additional revenue streams because there isn't an API that allow them to take a fee on top of providing swaps and DeFi services to their wallet users. Mm-hmm. So this is our latest offering, and as of now, we have 4 key product offerings. So to summarize, nodes and RPC API, staking as a service, our wallet MPC technology, and lastly, DeFi API. Sometimes people ask me, hey, why are you called Blockdaemon? We get the block part because like blockchain. So you have a block, in the name, but what about daemon? So for a lot of people, they probably don't know about this. It stands from like a computing, something like computing operating software. So the idea is that, it refers to a program that is operating in the background and helps to keep services and operation systems running. So if you relate back to what Blockdaemon is doing, we're offering like node infrastructure. We're always at the background. Nobody actually knows about us, but what we do is we offer these services to allow customers to keep their services and their operations running quietly in the background, doing all the maintenance and all the services without anybody knowing. So that's how the name comes about.
That's very interesting. I was actually about to ask you, is it Demon or Daemon?
My personal preference, I like to call it Daemon. But I guess like, my American colleague, they will call it Demon. Whereas like for me, I call it Daemon because I don't know, like I feel like the word demon sounds like
I know what you
like
mean.
a devil, right?
Yeah.
But then again, the funny part is our logo is shaped like a devil as well. Like it has the
Right.
2 horns.
All right.
So that's the interesting part.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I don't know, Sonny, so how will you pronounce if you come across this word like as a first time?
When I first was introduced to, I think, one of your staff back in one of the events, I knew blockchain, and I was very confused with the last part of the demon. I
Right.
was very embarrassed to call it a demon as well because of the sheer reasons you just told me. I was
Yeah.
saying, are you from BD? And he was like, oh, Blockdaemon. Yes. I said, okay, that's Daemon, not demon then. So that's how I corrected myself. That was like very early days when I, sort of when Blockdaemon
right.
Daemon first launched, probably in Singapore.
It's still a constant battle. Like some of my colleagues still call it demon, like Blockdaemon. But I mean, I got used to pronounce it as Daemon.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I know that you just mentioned that you've got Ethereum and all sort of blockchains. How did XDC come about, and what differentiates Blockdaemon's XDC Network staking solution from running a node on your own or using any third-party services?
Our partnership with XDC started off because, of course, we like the whole idea of XDC solutions. So basically, usually when Blockdaemon works with protocol foundations, we pick projects that are able to benefit the industry. So the whole idea of XDC solutions is to really tap into, allow users and developers to apply applications to real world. So this includes real world assets. And I guess that whole idea resonates very strongly with our own company's and team's vision, that we do want to see blockchain changing the lives of people. And we want to definitely support networks that does that. Some of the important pointers to note about is also like how SDC prides itself also as a network that offer low gas fees, and also fast speed, quick transactions. We recruit very high throughput support.
Yep.
And I think for us, Blockdaemon, we always pride ourselves on our node reliability and efficiency in offering services like that to the users. So we want to be able to provide a dependable blockchain service for any users who are looking to build on top of SDC Network, or any stakers who are looking to stake their SDC tokens and participate in the network.
What kind of ongoing support, technical or otherwise, can masternode operators expect from Blockdaemon over the life cycle of their stake?
We actually offer a tailored and dedicated 24/7 coverage support, and we have presence in APAC, and our headquarters is actually in Singapore. So we do have a dedicated team of sales, marketing, and even engineers sitting in our Singapore office. So with that, we can actually offer white glove support and services for any customers or users who work with us. And even outside of this time zone, we have like support team across the globe. So what this means is also, if there are any issues, queries that customers have, and they need to reach out to one of us, they can actually contact our global support team through various means. We have like Slack channels support, they can email us, and we have a team that will get back to them that is adherence to the SLA or the service level agreement that we have with this customer. We have a very experienced and dedicated node operations team and engineers. So they are very involved in, they get very involved in a lot of these protocol foundations and get connected to teams like SDC. It could be over Discord channels, Slack channels. So if there are any updates or pending node maintenance or upgrade coming from these protocol foundations, we are always the first to know, and we will relate that information back to our customer. So again, this can be done through Slack channels with the customers, or it could also be done through emails, And we have a Blockdaemon status maintenance page that customers can also get real-time updates from us. So again, that is a package that when customers work with us, they got all this service and support from us. And one of the things, as I mentioned earlier, is how we pride ourselves, as a company that offer high uptime, high reliability. So our node operates with a 99.9% uptime, and this is backed by redundant infrastructure that is across data centers. So we do have data centers across the globe. The geographical management of such node management and distribution help to prevent and mitigate regional outages. So in the event like disasters, or in the event that a particular location has some issues like hyper outage, we are able to do failover of the nodes to another region. So again, this helps to maintain that high reliability and high redundancy for all the nodes that we operate and service our clients for it.
Great. That's a lot of technical insights coming out today of this podcast. And I hope the audience is going to really take a lot out of this. I have one last question for you. What does Blockdaemon's ISO 9001 certification mean in practical terms for institutional clients taking XDC Network?
Basically, the ISO 9001 certification is our commitment to quality management. So, enhancing the reliability, being compliant, and also focusing a lot on client centricity of XDC network solutions. So one of the things that I have not touched upon is that we are probably one of the few private companies in the space that have our financial audited yearly. So of course, it's not mandated because it's a private company, but we do this on an annual basis just to, be accountable to not just our shareholders, but also to clients who work with us. And another part that we do is also, with KYC or KYB all the customers that work with us, just to ensure that we stay compliant and we do not, we want to work with reliable partners as well. Again, I think we are actually the first company in the space to offer a slashing guarantee solutions to customers. So of course, XDC Network, as I mentioned earlier, there's a need to maintain that high reliability. You need to make sure that the network is quick, is fast, is able to process high throughput transactions. And to do that, the master nodes are there to make sure that it validates the blocks properly. So the master nodes have to do their task in a reliable manner. And in terms of like many POS or proof of stake networks, if a validator or master node is not performing to its duty, it actually gets slashed. So as again, back to the point that I mentioned earlier, we are the first company in the space to offer slashing guarantee to the customers. So in the event that any of the master nodes that we operate on behalf of customers got slashed because of a Blockdaemon mistake, we did not fill over the node properly, or we weren't able to make sure that the node is up and running, and that caused the clients to lose their tokens, our slashing guarantee covers for that. And on our end, we work with, again, a very reliable insurance provider in the space. So that kind of cover us as well. So that in terms of any catastrophic slashing event, we can actually tap into this policy to cover for all those incidents that happen. At this point in time, I just want to touch wood. We have not tapped into this insurance at all since we first acquired it. Okay. So, that's a good news. And again, that proves how reliable we are as a node infrastructure provider and also staking infrastructure company. We do our due diligence well. We make sure that the nodes that we run, the infrastructure that we offer to the customers are always of top enterprise grade quality.
I think we've talked a lot about Blockdaemon and what Blockdaemon does. So just maybe out of curiosity, you said the head office is in Singapore or in the US?
So we are actually a remote first company. So our company or our employees are actually distributed, I would say, across various continents, various countries. But we do have a few regions where we call it hubs. So our hubs will have a physical office, and usually that's where I would say a significant amount of people are based in. So for example, we have hub in Dublin, we have hub in London. I think we have a hub in New York as well. and in Asia, that's in Singapore. So in Singapore itself, we have about 10 employees. And again, we have teams members from different departments and functions, just to cover, the core functions to support our customers in APAC.
Interesting. Good to know about all these hubs that you have all over the world. For those who like to know more about XDC, if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask, and we should just go from there.
I mentioned briefly about XDC Network earlier, but of course, I think it would be best for the audience to also hear, what XDC Network is about from you, Sonny.
So let me just enlighten your audience, your ecosystem about XDC. So XDC Network is a layer 1 blockchain that's designed with enterprise use cases in mind. Think trade finance, tokenization of real world assets, and cross-border payments. What really sets it apart is a hybrid architecture. So it combines the benefits of public blockchains like transparency with the privacy and performance that enterprises often need. Over the years, it's become a go-to infrastructure for projects looking to build scalable, regulatory-aligned solutions in the real-world financial sector.
If I recall correctly, I think XDC started about the same time as Blockdaemon in 2017. Maybe you can also share a little bit more about the background, how it comes to where it is today.
Yeah, you're right. XDC Network actually started taking shape around 2017. That's when the foundational vision was laid out with the aim of solving inefficiencies in global trade systems. So the token generation event, or the TGE as it's called, happened a year later in 2018. So it's been several years of continuous building, partnerships, and global deployment across sectors like supply chain, trade documentation, and finance.
I'm also curious to know, because I first met Sean from XDC in Australia, and then now, Sonny, I met you in Singapore. Just curious to know, where exactly is XDC Network headquartered?
I didn't know that you met Son in person, but yeah, Son actually, asked me to get in touch with you. Oh, that's very interesting. Now that you've asked this question, and for the rest of the audience as well. So while XTC Network is decentralized and has contributors globally, the core founding team member is primarily based out of Singapore. That said, its footprint is truly international, with enterprise deployments and community hubs just like yourself, spread across the UAE, India, Europe, and more. So it's not a single entity operation, it's a network of collaborators, innovators, and institutions all over the world.
The whole blockchain industry is very decentralized, yet, we are able to meet everyone from every place, in different areas. So I came across something, in terms of like an upgrade that XDC underwent to XDC V 2.0. Could you tell us more about it?
XDC 2.0 was a major milestone. It wasn't just a performance tweak, it introduced critical upgrades at the protocol level. One of the biggest highlights was the introduction of military-grade forensics. And what does that mean? Which adds an extra layer of auditability and security. Another game changer was the 3-block finality. That basically means transactions are confirmed faster and more securely, which is incredibly important for obviously financial applications where delays can be very costly. It also made the network more appealing to institutions needing substantial settlement and compliance guarantees.
Earlier, we chatted about how Blockdaemon support XDC Network by running like masternodes. And for masternodes, there's like a requirement, like users need to have 10 million XDC token in order to run a masternode. Yeah. But I do hear that XDC Network had a vote as well on liquidity staking. So could you tell us more about, what this means for XDC Network as well as institutional investors?
Very good question. So liquid staking has been accessible through Prime Finance for some time. But a recent proposal from Valid Protocol caught attention from many in the broader crypto circles. Valid Protocol, that initially provided staking as a service for retail investors, particularly those unable to afford running a masternode independently, is now shifting its focus towards liquid staking, enhancing accessibility and flexibility for a broader range of participants. So the proposal has garnered strong support from the community, and it's currently under review. As the DeFi landscape on the XDC network continues to evolve, we anticipate the emergence of more projects offering innovative liquid staking solutions. With growing adoption and technological advancements, accessibility to staking is set to expand, unlocking new opportunities for investors at all levels. For institutional investors, liquid staking on the XDC network What does it do? Presents a compelling opportunity to optimize capital efficiency while maintaining exposure to staking rewards. So traditionally, as you said, running on XTC Masternode requires 10 million XTC, KYC compliance and technical expertise, creating barriers for institutional participation. Whereas liquid staking eliminates those hurdles by allowing investors to stake XTC and receive PST XTC, a liquid staking derivative, at a 1-to-1 ratio. So basically, these are some of the benefits of liquid staking on XTC.
That's interesting. And I think that's good to know, users have the option as well to do liquid staking, which I guess provide more liquidity, without having to go through things like the warm-up, unbonding period. And also probably wouldn't have to fulfill that 10 million requirement.
Exactly.
So it offers like an alternative.
That's the barrier.
Well. Yeah, that's definitely a barrier. I think when people talk about, staking on XDC, the term that comes across more often is they refer XDC Network staking as a dedicated proof of stake, or XDPOS in short. So how does that differ, from a standard POS or proof of stake frameworks?
So XDC Network's delegated proof of stake, which is XDPOS, enhances standard POS by offering high scalability, efficiency, and decentralization. Unlike a traditional POS, XDPOS uses a reputation-based system where elected validators only produce blocks in a round-robin manner, ensuring fast transactions and low energy consumption. It integrates BFT for security, preventing malicious takeovers. Additionally, the XDPOS supports a self-KYC, making it enterprise and regulator-friendly, while maintaining decentralization and trust. This model optimizes network security, speed, and institutional adoption, setting XTC obviously apart in blockchain innovation.
The whole idea of how it does the POS helps to ensure the fast transaction. Again, like we all know the importance what differentiates XTC from the rest of the other networks is that it aims to offer that speed as well as that low gas fees. Yeah, it's good to know, the technicalities behind how all this work. Now that we touch a little bit more on masternodes, can you share another technical question, Sonny? But I hope you are able to share a bit more how masternodes, play in network security. And again, back to that 10 million SDC token questions, like how, what is that strategic significance behind having this amount of tokens?
Good question. I get asked about this question a lot when I'm out there at events. So masternodes in the XDC network enhance security by validating transactions, maintaining decentralization, and preventing fraud. They ensure network integrity and stability while supporting governance. And the 10 million XDC stake, which all of us know about and talk about it, requirement plays a key role in ensuring committed, high-quality node operators who have a vested interest in maintaining trust and efficiency. This stake discourages spam, malicious activity, and low-quality participation, creating a blockchain ecosystem that remains secure, scalable, and economically sustainable. So that's why it's that amount of staking that is required, for the masternodes.
Thanks, Sonny, for the enlightenment. And I think now that people understand the strategic significance, I guess the next questions that a lot of people who are interested in staking will always have is that, so how are the block rewards being distributed? How are transaction fees being distributed across all these masternodes? And again, the questions that comes when people talk about staking is, what is the reward rate like?
Absolutely, happy to explain. So each block on the XDC network mints 5.5 XDC as rewards for validators, incentivizing them to validate transactions and maintain network security. These rewards ensure that validators remain committed to securing the blockchain while enabling efficient transaction processing. Additionally, a portion of the transaction fees collected from these network activities is distributed among masternode holders. Masternodes play a crucial role in the maintaining, obviously, decentralization, verifying transactions, and ensuring consensus. Their rewards come from both block rewards and transaction fees, so making the participation in the network economically sustainable.
So when we talk about, the whole XDC ecosystem, of course, there's an XDC network, which we have been discussing about for the earlier part of this podcast. But could you tell us a little bit more about XVC Tech and how does it complement the network?
Wow, that's a question somebody has asked me for the first time in my time doing podcast interviews, which is a very good question because I'm running this acceleration program and we are obviously signing term sheets under the XVC Tech. So, yeah, XVC Tech is essentially the venture capital and incubation arm closely aligned with XDC ecosystem. Think of it as the engine that scouts, supports and accelerates Web3 startups that are building on top of XDC Network. It's not just about funding, it's about strategic support. So they help with go-to-market strategies, compliance, advisory, and even technical integration. So what makes XVC Tech so valuable to the network is that it ensures real-world adoption. It's actively growing the ecosystem with high-impact projects, whether it's tokenized assets, DeFi protocols, or enterprise solutions that make blockchain usable in everyday industries. So yeah, that's about XVC Tech.
I'm happy that Sonny, you are running this accelerator program over here. Could you maybe let the audience know as of now how many master nodes does the XDC network has? And again, how can institutional investors benefit from here?
Over 108 validator nodes, master nodes, and 200 plus standby nodes are securing the XDC network. Each of these nodes help process transactions, maintain consensus, and validate data on the blockchain. Interestingly, XDC uses, obviously, as I said before, delegated proof of stake system, which means master nodes are selected based on the stake weight and community trust. For institution and investor, this setup offers several benefits. First, there's an opportunity to run a node, which directly involves securing the network while earning passive rewards. Second, it provides a reliable and transparent infrastructure that institutions can build on without worrying about congestion, high fees, or governance instability. And with XDC 2.0 enhanced finality and forensic tools, institutions now have the audibility and compliance features they need to meet regulatory standards, which is a huge plus in today's landscape.
Awesome. Good to know that. Thanks, Sonny.
Thank you so much for being, at the XDC APAC podcast. People would obviously like to reach out to you after this podcast. Where can they find you?
You can look me out on my LinkedIn. You can search me by ZJ Blockdaemon. I'll definitely come out over there. Alternatively, I think we have like a page that users can reach out to us on our blockdaemon.com website. So if you drop us a message there, someone from my team will pick it up and, connect with you if you have further questions.
Any plans for the Token 2049 Singapore in October?
We would be there. So again, if you want to connect with us, you can definitely reach out to us on the Token 2049 event. Usually we will do several events that includes a Korean blockchain week as well. Catch us around in any of the Asia events.
Now that you said that, I'm also planning a demo day during Token 2049 in Singapore. And obviously, there are various events lined up before that as well. Probably not in Singapore, but at various parts of the world. But happy to, probably have a event together during Token 2049 Singapore Blockdaemon, now that you are working so closely with each other. And obviously keep the audience posted when that news goes out. And obviously we are still planning on that. Thank you so much for your time today, and lovely talking to you. And this session was very insightful. Me being not a technical person, talking to a technical account manager, obviously I learned a lot from you and the infrastructure node, that's a solution that you provide. And for the rest of the audience, I hope you enjoyed the session. This is insightful. If you are not technical, still you can understand because ZJ has managed to explain it so nicely. And so thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again with another episode, another guest speaker on XDC APAC podcast. Till then, take care of yourself and have a good day. Thank you.